Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us in a real talk with AWC advisors. Today, we have a very good guest with us, Susie Zambrano. She is the Associate Dean for South Yuma County. And today, we will be talking about academic and career planning for success. So let's get going. So let's start with Omar. Why is it important to do academic planning?
Well, as an academic advisor, Maria, I have to say it's super important, right? Um,
Yes.
I mean, planning, there's many reasons why, and I know you guys will agree with me that there's so many reasons why planning is so important for students. Um, I mean, year in, year out, I see students that really don't really know when they're going to finish their degree. And that really, it doesn't really give them a clear picture, hey, when am I going to be done? They're just coming to school without really having that end goal for future planning. So initially that in itself is to me very important, right? It gives you a clear idea of when you will be completing your degree for future planning. Do you guys have any other benefits from that may come from it?
I think academic planning allows you to see when is the time to transition to the university. It makes you feel empowered on your career goal, and especially looking at the end in mind allows you to focus, get motivated, and see a connection of the classes that you are currently taking towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's important with planning is you don't waste time and you can ask good questions. So if you know where you're going, what the class requirements are, then you're not going to be wondering what the next step is. You'll know, like, I'm going to finish in 2 years, or maybe you're not going to finish as quickly as you hoped, because I know that a lot of students have like this idea that they need to finish in 2 years, and it's great if you can, but at least you know what's going on so that you can plan. And I know that a lot of students who finish their degree maybe in the fall, in December, they end up deciding that they're going to use that spring semester to plan ahead, like apply for scholarships at the university or get a part-time job to save up money before going to the university out of town. And I think that's the purpose of planning, is figuring out, are you going to have a gap? What decisions do you need to make it as productive as possible, I guess. So it's really important.
Yeah, and students get to understand the process too. As advisors, Susie used to be an advisor as well, right? And I notice when students actually understand the process of advising. When you talk about certain sections in the AJEC, for example, and you're like, okay, this is the art section. You can choose from these classes, and they're like, oh, I have a choice. And
Yeah.
sometimes they don't even know that, because they usually seek our services when they want their classes, and they're kind of like they feel like, okay, what am I going to get? But once they start the planning process, they realize, hey, I actually have options here. And along with us, with academic advisors, makes it an easier decision. And of course, we help them understand that process. So I like that too, that it really gives them a better idea of the process, and it really paints a clear picture. Oh, this is going to take this long. Well,
Yeah.
maybe I should take summer classes. Maybe I should take winter classes. A lot of students want to take 4 classes coming in, right? And we do promote the 5 per semester, right, to finish in 2 years, if you want to finish in 2 years. But some of them are like, whoa, 4 isn't enough. Maybe I should bump to 5 or 6. So
Yeah.
it really is an aha moment, I guess, for a lot of students.
And I
Well,
think also
sorry, go ahead.
something that's important also is how do we encourage students to come and talk to us often? Because it's not just about when you have to register, it's about let's come when to make the plan, to make your educational plan, making sure that you are ahead of the game, understanding the requirements, and also working towards your goal. What university are you transferring to? And just having that information or having a priority choice when transferring allows the advisor to help the students more effectively. And I think that's where we want to reach you, the students, to make sure that we help you through your career goals. So
Yeah, my favorite part about planning is if you get to see an advisor early, because I like to remind students that your advisor is there for you, not so much for the college, but more so for the student. And your advisor is going to do the best to help you get all the credits that you need as fast as possible, as easy as possible. And I think that sometimes you don't realize that you can like kill two birds with one stone. Sometimes with one class you can fill multiple requirements, and that's difficult to understand when you're new, when you're a new college student, but your advisor is like an expert when it comes to these degrees that we offer, so they can give you the best recommendations so that you can finish quicker.
Correct. And let's take it a step back, guys, and let's talk about how we decided on our degrees. Just to give a glimpse of how we came about that decision. Maria, you want to get started? How did you come up about making that decision about your degree?
When in reality, I think it was part of discovering who I am, because in college, I wanted to be a teacher. So then I took the intro to education class, and I felt it was too prescribed, like you were, yes, you have to do this and this. And am that type of person that like to be challenged, that I like to do my best in everything I do. So I decided for business, because a business was gonna challenge me and everything. However, when I graduated, I came back to the school settings, because that's who I am. I am a person who like to serve people, that like to provide opportunities. And in reality, when I was in college, I wanted to be a high school principal. And it was because of my experience in high school. I wanted to go back, provide opportunities for students. While I was taking my college degree, I got into business. But when I finished, I actually got a full-time job as the business development coordinator. And I felt it was too sad, because I was working on my computer all day, only a few phone calls here and there, and I didn't interact with people. But I know that I love interacting with people, because when I'm come to work, it doesn't feel like I'm working, because I'm helping, I'm assisting, I'm providing resources for the students. So I'm so lucky that I was able to actually find that job, that career that is made for me, because I was misunderstanding my path, because I love business, but my passion is helping people. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. What about you, Susie?
Well, I saw some of your real talk videos from the past, and I think mine is very similar to Maria's to a certain extent. When I went to high school, one of my English professors asked us to talk about what we did during the summer. So I talked about how during that summer I went to go visit an orphanage in Mexico, and it really impacted my life. And I just shared details about that experience. And then when she graded it, she told me she wanted to talk to me after class. And she asked me a question that it did offend me, but at the same time, I'm grateful. So I was born in the United States, but I used to speak mainly Spanish at home. So my English teacher asked me if I was an ESL student, and I said, yeah, that I was an ESL mostly for my entire elementary school. And then she said, yeah, I can tell. And then I was like, oh, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't think she was asking me to offend me, of course. I think she was just wanting to understand why I wasn't writing as well as maybe at that level. And so she told me, you know what, I can tell, but you're a great writer. And oh my gosh, that like made me feel so empowered. And so after that, I decided I wanted to be an English professor, which cracks me up because, it's like such a different career path at this point. But yeah, I struggled a lot in English. And so I wanted to kind of like become a better writer, teach other students to be confident with learning English. And uh, and then I went to college, and I decided that wasn't the best fit for me, because at the end of the day, what I really truly wanted was to help people as well. So I enjoy helping people. And for a long time, I was an academic advisor, and I really enjoyed it too, because you get that interaction and you have so many positive conversations with students, and you can inspire them and empower them so that they can reach their goals. But at the end of the day, I did go through a tough time to figure out my degree. So I came in wanting to be an English professor. Then I wanted to be a nurse, and I feel terrible because I was so insecure that I decided, oh, I'm not smart enough for that, and then so I chose psychology because I really loved the classes, and I knew that I was passionate about that field. So I went for it. But for a long time, even for my master's degree, I let some of those fears and that insecurity determine what degrees I chose. And so if I could tell students like now, I would say, hey, don't limit yourself. Don't be afraid. You can do it. At this point, I would say anything is possible, but it's a little easier to say that now that you have a degree than it is at the moment to say, oh yeah, yes you can, but it is possible. So at this point, I would say, did I make a good choice? I think I did. I think it's difficult to make decisions sometimes because we want to know, like, oh, is this going to be the purpose of my life, and how is this going to impact my life? But I think that sometimes you have more than one good option, and so whatever you choose is going to be a great decision. But I do know it's difficult sometimes to make that one choice.
Very. I agree with that. Whatever decision you make, you're gonna make the most of it. In my case, I am a psych major too, and as I came into the college, I was a declared psych major coming in.
Wow.
Yeah, coming in, I was a psych major. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. Honestly, I didn't really have like a career in mind at that point. I was just like, I like the content. I think I'm interested in this. I like helping people. I like to communicate with others. I think I would be good in the social sciences. So I took on psych, and for me, it just worked out in that way. I didn't really know that I wanted to go into education until I got my bachelor's, and then I came back, and then that's when I got the opportunity to start at AWC. But as far as the degree, I felt pretty confident about it since the get-go. A few counselors at the high school told me like I would be a great fit in the social sciences, and I kind of just, I trusted them a lot, and I honestly did take their advice. Which is one thing that I recommend other students who are undecided to do. Seek a role model, someone that you admire, someone that you respect what they do, and maybe ask for their feedback. Because they know you from a different perspective, right? And they can give you some good advice. That's a piece of advice that I could give others who are still undecided about that. Maria, do you have any type of advice for students who are undecided or don't really know what they want to do?
I think it is important to get connected with your academic advisor because we have resources to help you figure out like what you want to study. And I think part of the process is getting to know about yourself. Mm-hmm. Many times we are unsure of what to decide because we don't really know who we are and the values that we have developed through our life. So it's getting to know more about yourself. Then once you know a little bit more about yourself, is investigating and one great way to do it is through community service. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of student organizations on campus. Things should go back to what was normal before, so we can do assisting. Like here in Somerton, we have the Aurora Club, so students have the opportunity to collect clothes for elderly here in Somerton. So actually, volunteering for community service organizations allows you to explore new territories. And that would be my other advice. First, connect with your advisor. Get involved in community service. Be open to explore new options. And I think that would help you a lot as you are searching of what career path to pursue. And remember, a degree doesn't determine your life because you are you, and the skills that you obtain through college education are going to be transferable to other career paths if you decide to change it.
Yes, I agree. A lot of students also ask, like, how do I really come about making this decision? It's not easy, right? Especially if you're coming maybe from high school or you've been out of high school for some years and you're coming back to school and you're like, how do I make up my mind about my degree? And, there's a few things that we've talked about that we believe students should consider. For example, one of them is lifestyle. What type of lifestyle do you want to have? And for example, a lot of students in our community, they love, a lot of them want to be nurses, for example. Mm-hmm. It's a very popular degree in South County and Yuma County in general. And it's a great career. It's a great option. I really do believe that. But you got to think about the lifestyle, right? It seems like it is kind of a stressful job, right? You might be working night shifts when you're coming in. You got to pay your dues like in any job, right? So you might be working some night shifts. You might be working long hours. You might be dealing with, tough scenarios like death. You're going to be, you'll experience those kind of things up front. So that's one of the things that, of course, I tell students, consider the lifestyle that you want to have. Are you able, willing or looking forward to that. If you are, then awesome. You know, there's people who that's their calling, and you know, and I'm grateful for that. So that's a big one. Salary is another one. Benefits. Can you guys think of some other ones?
I mean, when people are thinking about having a family, they have to think about how this career is going to interfere with my personal life. Like, for instance, I see a lot of females doing customs or border patrol.
Yeah.
So I mentioned, have you considered, like, would you like to have a family? Are you thinking of what that's going to entail? That's the times that you're going to be in actually working. And also considering, like, if you're in that position that or that career that you're pursuing, such as border patrol, is going to require you to move, right? Because many times you may not be hired here in our local community. Are you able to move? So I think that would be important to consider when thinking about a career.
For me, I like to ask students, what do you like to do? So what do you enjoy? But then what are you good at? Which sometimes will be the same, and sometimes it won't be. And then the other question is, are there job opportunities in those areas? Here in the community that you live in, or do you plan to move elsewhere where those opportunities exist? And so I think that might help students, because some students are like, oh, I want to go, you know, I don't want to live here. And then some students are like, oh, I want to stay, you know, there's nothing that's ever going to move me from this community. And I think both are good, and just kind of realizing what that means will help to make that decision that you need to make for your career. If you want to work at Google, for example, well, then you can't stay here, you know, you have to go and move somewhere else. But in this case, that field will apply to so many different organizations here in the community too. So you just have to like factor that in your decision making.
I agree. Location, location, location. It's kind of like real estate, right? It's all about location. Yeah, the hours too, like Maria mentioned regarding like if you want to have a family working for like a customs or border patrol, it's not that we're saying that, hey, don't do this if you're a woman. No, not by any means. Mostly you want to consider the hours, like you said, something as simple as that. And sometimes we don't really realize that hey, you may be working holidays, right? For example, me, I would hate working on Christmas. It's a big no-no for me. I need my food. I need my tamales. I need my food fix for sure. So little things like that, you think that they don't really matter. You know, as you grow and you realize, hey, you know, I want to be with my family on the weekends, on holidays. There are certain type of careers, jobs that will not allow that, or at least will make that a little bit more difficult. So yeah, those are awesome. Benefits too, medical benefits, right? There's a lot of jobs that will provide those medical benefits. Governmental jobs usually have great benefit packages.
Yeah.
And again, when I was 18, guys, I did not care about that. You know, I was like, come on, you're gonna tell me about benefits, you know, but you know, as we know, it's a process of development, and at some point you realize, hey, benefits are actually important.
Well, I had a student once in one of my classes who wrote a letter. I used to have students write themselves a letter, and I would mail it to them like 5 years later so that they can remind themselves of their goals back then.
Yes.
And I had a student who said that they wanted to retire at 40. And I was like, okay. And you know what? Sometimes you can do that if you're smart about that. So a few of them are thinking about retirement, but you're gonna need a really nice retirement package in order to accomplish that goal, for example. So yeah, I think that benefits, retirement plans, salary, sometimes there's a give and take. I remember, you know, when Omar and I used to work a little bit more closely together a few years back, I remember I told him I was frustrated because this other person got paid so well, and I just kind of was venting about how, you know, I wish that we could get paid better and things like that. And then Omar was like, yeah, but do you want that type of job? And I was like, no. And there's a lot of benefits like holidays, weekends, flexibility, a good work environment, being passionate about what you do. And so sometimes you have to factor that in, because some of the high salary positions require a lot of sacrifices too. I think that's really important to just factor all of that in to make a good decision. And then if you make a decision and you really like it, and then 20 years later you decide, you know what, I'm ready for a change. That's okay too. Like that, nothing is like sealed in stone, and you're gonna do this for the rest of your life until you're 67 plus. You know, you could always decide, hey, I'm gonna do something else now.
And the beauty is that you can start your pathway here at Arizona Western College. You once you already said, this is what I'm going to do, you meet with the advisor, we help you do your educational plan. Then they already look forward transferring to the university. Then we also have career services here at AWC to help you create your resume, your cover letter, do an interview to make sure that you get the opportunity. Like for instance, right now we got an email that there is a work study position at the city of San Luis. So if students, if the, let's say that a student wants to do business, then this would be a great position for the student. So making those connections with the advisors, with career services, thinking about where you are transferring is the key for students to make sure that they do academic and career planning. So
Lesson of the day, get to know us, right, Maria?
yes.
Get to know us. We got the connections.
Your advisor, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
No, but we definitely do have the support. You know, we have the tools, I guess, to get to where you want to be, or at least try to get to where you want to be. And we mentioned career services, of course, advisement. You know, different job opportunities that are, you know, come our way. You know, the different emails that we get every now and then. So we are a great resource. Of course, we're going to say that. I know, but we definitely are a great resource. Getting to know us is actually a good thing, guys. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I think we're going to call it a day. I think there was a lot of good information. Thank you so much, Susie. Thank you so much as the associate dean taking the time to report with us.
Yeah.
We really do appreciate that, and we're so happy you got a chance to give us your thoughts here.
Thanks for the invite. I mean, you guys are doing awesome. I can't wait to see more of these videos, and I hope that I can get invited again in the future.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys to our viewers. We'll see you guys in a few weeks with another video, and talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.